did this, we did that. Let me check that.
Promise
you.
That's what you think?
Promise you.
All right.
Because that shit happened to me all the time. Like, damn, my car's gonna start. Oh, that's right. I forgot. We did this, we did that 2 years ago. So let me go back and double check that shit.
All right. Say so.
Promise you, you can remember all this shit. You're like, damn, why is that flaking off? Oh, that's right. I didn't prep that right.
Might do better folding it back and then pushing it back.
Nah, it's gonna look nasty.
Well,
I'm gonna show my Dremel. What do we have?
on another note, getting that engine bay ready for paint.
Yeah.
It's literally taking this man 45 minutes to clean off one table.
One organizing, okay, sir?
One table. He had one job and to clean off one table. I cleaned out all of this.
Before all this.
I cleaned out all this.
I had my pliers over here.
I cleaned out all this.
Had my shit over there.
Yeah, one job.
Organization, people. That's what it is.
One job, and he has not done that yet. Can you please?
Because it's called organizing, Bryce.
Can you please? Could you please?
What?
Hurry up and clear off this table so we can clean this joint up.
You know what?
If that's organizing, my name is Ricky.
Well, that's
Bobby.
already in there. That's already been in there. I'm not organizing shit in here. I'm putting stuff in there to organize it from other things.
If that's what you call it.
Organization.
I
Where's
cleaned
your
out,
toolbox,
I cleaned
Bryce?
out all this
Organization.
in 30 minutes.
Fuck. Forget about all these zip ties. You want some?
I already got a pack. If you don't throw them in that box,
I don't want all these.
save them for later. You never know when you might need them.
I'll just buy some more. You know what you can do? Go get some water in those buckets.
The water's in the bucket.
Oh,
I mean, it's going. That's me doing it.
No, that car.
Yeah, he over there. And the amount of time it take you, I have to go get some buckets, some McDonald's, some chicken nuggets.
Well, then go do it
and
then.
come back, and this table's still gonna have all
Go
these
give me a
cans on
Dr.
here.
Pepper.
He said, "Go give him a Dr. Pepper." Bullshit, you don't deserve no Dr. Pepper.
The toolbox.
Man, if you don't put that shit in your pocket,
Taking
if
time.
you don't put that shit, I'm taking time. I'm taking time. Look at this. Look at this. All you got, all you have to do is what? You shook that can up 3 times that I've seen. What's he pressing in there? You want me to go?
I don't know.
That shit's coming through the wall. You want me to go talk to him? Want me to go talk to him? I'm gonna go over there. I'll be back. Alright, Ken. Because if you keep on pressing, oh no. I don't know, but you need to clean off this table.
You want some door hinges?
I'm gonna just, 10,000 years. Woo! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So right now, just finishing up the car. Just what do we do to it? Wiped it down with cleaner, wiped it down with wet towels.
Yeah, wax and grease remover, cleaner, then water rag to help get any like natural oils from your hands off. We're gonna do that again. Make sure, because it's better to go over your work as many times as possible. Like, let's say I touch that and I wipe this whole panel, but this little spot, that's gonna show up when we go paint. So if I go over this whole panel twice, it's more likely that I'll clean that if I go over it the more times you go over it. So we'll go over it one more time once we have it all masked up, just in case any fingerprints or natural oils are touched on the engine bay or anywhere we're gonna paint. And then we'll use some rattle can etch primer to get any small bare metal spots covered up. Then we'll spray it, and that's it. For the most part, just need to mask it up, lay plastic, tack cloth everything before we finish painting everything. Metallic. So the metallic's kind of lay in like ridges and stuff like this, and you'll see it. It kind of highlights imperfections. That's the only bad thing about like metallics. You'll be able to see, like, sometimes it looks okay, but when you're spraying it and the metallics lay into like little crevices, like see that little spot? The metallics will kind of lay in there, and they'll face this way, face that way, because it's like a little crevice, like a little ditch. So yeah, I mean, for the most, I could lay a sealer over everything, and it'll kind of fill in. But when you lay a sealer, there's more chances of dust and dirt getting into the paint, because the sealer is kind of a wet coat, and it stays wet for longer before you put the color over it. So I try to avoid doing that if I can. Spraying the paint like this or the color over this is nicer. It's better that way.
So more or less, sand it down, fix the imperfections,
and just paint it. I mean, we could paint it like this, but I just want to make sure everything's nice and clean, because the more prep work you do, the nicer it's going to come out. And if there's anything wrong with the paint, that's on me. If the engine bay is nice, but if there's like a run, I mean, if a bug lands in it, that's not me.
That June bug.
That's Mother Nature. That's not me. But like, if small imperfections of dust, we can buff out sand. Just hit it with some 1500 to 1000, 1500. Buff it. I bought a Milwaukee small buffer for.
I saw that.
Little things like this.
All right.
But there's work that Santa Ana has probably already have done that I haven't seen, that I couldn't see. But I know they've done a lot of work. When Bryce brought it over to me to help him, we just kind of cleaned everything out. And there's just a lot of little things that we're trying to clean up and make sure it's nice and clean before we paint it. Like, we went ahead and put seam sealer right here before we go ahead and paint it. I put a little bit of seam sealer there. We're actually using a engine hoist to lift the front of the vehicle up, because as y'all can see, there's actually no suspension, cross member, motor, nothing in there. I know there's a bunch of little tabs here that Bryce took off with the grinding disc or belt sander. See, this is the other side that I had to drill out, which is, it's very close, very, very close. This is all gonna be cleaned up, but it looks pretty good. Yeah, see, that's exactly what I was telling Bryce to do. Kind of clean it up. That's the Cornwell belt sander. I highly recommend that belt sander. It's,
I fucked up.
you cut through that, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see that.
It was thin.
Yeah, I told you that from the very beginning. So this is actually the full billet piece that goes on top of the strut tower. Goes like that, yeah. So that lines up with the holes. I believe the previous owner actually like ovaled these out, or something happened. So we're gonna have to kind of fix things up here. The other side's fine. They're actual circles. These are a little bit ovaled out. But anyways, this full billet piece actually goes on top, and we'll be mounting like that. So it'll look really nice once the engine bay is painted. But the engine bay, I believe at Santa Ana, they actually went ahead and stitch welded the strut tower and some other things. So most of the engine bay is actually pretty smooth. We just had to tack this up last night, and we're gonna get the engine bay real nice and smooth so we can get it ready for paint. But for the most part, it's nice and clean. We're gonna wipe everything down, wax and grease remover, cleaner, water, tack cloth, wrap it up, paint it. And then from the actual rails down, sorry, get back in focus. Those Bryce slippers right there. Yeah. But from that rail down, we actually put sprayed bed liner just to kind of help keep things nice and straight, clean. Instead of painting it, we were thinking might help with chipping if there is anything that might kind of kick up into the engine bay. Although I'm not sure if Bryce is going to be running. Are you going to be running like a skid plates, like a full skid plate undermount thing?
You're just gonna have to wait and see.
All right, wait and see. We still going with the flow. Oh. Remember, try not to get oversprayed. Using PPG plastic, static clean plastic for cars. This stuff is actually pretty cheap. It's like 45 bucks, 50 bucks. Stuff is great. There's a little hole, stuff like that. You just put some tape over, no big deal. But this is just good to have, like, in general. Like if you're painting your house, your car, you can use it as a car cover. Just tape it up. Anyways, we're gonna mask up right here, right above or right below the windshield line. There's a metal trim piece that goes right here, I think, for the windshield. Not 100% familiar with these cars. And then we're gonna be masking it up from here, the paper, to anywhere where there's bed. It's already been bed lined, undercoated, whatever you want to do. But for this stuff, we try and get the plastic as tight as you can, nice and neat. And then we just taped it up right here on the rocker panel. Not that big of a deal if a little bit of overspray gets around here. Tidy all this up. Taped it around the wheels. And kind of just pulled it tight in the back so it's nice and tight right here. We're going to be bunching this up together like this. Make it nice and tight. Tape that down. Bryce is working on this side. Just actually looks more complete than the other side.
Professional.
And then once we get done, possibly the transmission tunnel, it already kind of has like a little bit of overspray from primer, which is no big deal. They actually make Raptor liner like in a little spray can that you could do touch-ups with. So we're gonna be using a lot of that. The fuel lines and stuff, I don't think is gonna matter because Bryce is I think gonna run AN lines or E85 compatible lines for stuff like that. You're going E85, right?
Yeah, you're using sauce.
Yeah. And do a little quickie on this thing, make it look nice and pretty with some paint. And it should be nice. And then we're gonna be back taping this with tape and then putting some masking paper on top of that. And just use some rattle can, like I said earlier, rattle can etch primer to touch up any like bare metal spots like so. And it should be come out.
All these horses in my car got me going fast. I just wanna do the dash, put my pedal to the gas. Going so fast, hope I don't crash. One false move, that could be my last. All these horses in my car got me going fast. I just wanna do the dash, put my pedal to the gas. Going so fast, hope I don't crash. One false move, that could be my last. I just pulled up in the Benz, it was just me and my mans. Fishbowl, no turn, scooping your hoe on her friends. Won't take that bitch to the movies, ain't got no love for the groupies.